fly today in a low hammock silk. In order to find that, you might want to use a yoga block and put it on the highest height, place it on the floor, and then lower your hammock so it comes right on top of that yoga block, so about 12 or 14 inches off the floor. I want you to come sitting in the middle of your fabric on your knees, and then reach to the front edges of your fabric, spread it out, and then begin to lower your chest and your head into your fabric. It's like a modified puppy dog pose. Take an inhale here and begin to sit yourself back onto your heels. Open your fabric wide for a nice stretch, and then lower yourself back down, bringing your hands back together as you lower your chest into your fabric. Sway from side to side. Another option is to bend your elbows and stack your forearms on top of one another and lower your head into your forearms. This is a beautiful, relaxing puppy dog pose. I want you to try to connect to your breath here in this pose. Take a full inhale. Allow the back to open up, the back body, and as you exhale, soften the chest into your fabric more. You can sway from side to side with either the arms straight or stacking your forearms on top of one another. Allow yourself to get some nice side stretches of the body, stretching out those intercostal muscles. Full breath in, deep breath out, going as fast or slow as you want as you sway yourself from side to side. From here, I want you to lay your belly into your fabric and bring your arms out of your fabric, bringing them onto the ground shoulder width apart. Pull yourself forward so that you stack your shoulders over your wrists and open up the chest. As you exhale, press yourself back, straightening the arms, letting the head come down to the ground. We're going to do a little flow here. So inhale, pull yourself forward, look up, arch. As you exhale, allow yourself to straighten the arms, let the chest and head come down to the ground. You can always take your feet out of your fabric as well, or keep them in, whatever option feels better. As you pull yourself forward, tuck your toes and inhale, look up. As you exhale, lift your toes off the floor and press yourself back. Maybe you sway yourself from right to left here to stretch out a little bit more and find the breath. As the legs sway over to the right, look with your head towards the right, and then when your legs sway over to the left, add your head by looking to the left. This deepens the side body stretch. When you're ready, pull yourself forward, stacking your shoulders of your wrists, tuck your toes. Inhale, fill up with the breath. Exhale, press yourself back, letting the head come between the shoulders. You can sway yourself from side to side and just freely play around here so you let your belly just relax into the fabric. This is a nice little warm up, wiggling out any little nooks and crannies in your body here. Pull yourself forward, roll your shoulders back, tuck your toes, inhale, gaze up. As you exhale, extend the body back, relax between the shoulder blades and let the head come down to the ground. Inhale, draw yourself forward, but this time bring your knees into your chest. Tuck those knees in as far as they can. And then as you press yourself back, I want you to adjust the fabric to down underneath your hip bones. Good. Once they're underneath those hip bones into your Goldilocks spot, reset yourself with your palms shoulder width apart, and then pull yourself forward, stack your shoulders over your wrists, and then hollow out by pulling the knees into the chest. A nice little core workout. Press yourself back and sink your chest down onto the ground. This is a nice, relaxing, more modified puppy dog pose, and it allows the back to just alleviate here. You can sway yourself from side to side with your toes and your legs. And then when you're ready, pull yourself back forward. Bring that knee into the chest using your core, and then extend yourself back again, pressing it down so that your chest can come onto the earth, relaxing your chin onto the earth or your forehead onto the ground, whatever feels most comfortable. Sway yourself from right to left with your legs to decompress your spine. Breathe here with the chest resting down on the ground. Inhale from here. Pull yourself forward, stack the shoulders over the wrists and knees into the chest, and then press yourself back. You're going to do these a couple times without resting your chest onto the earth. So knees into chest, and then press yourself back. Keep your shoulders and chest off the ground. Then pull yourself forward, hover out, nice core engagement, and then press it back. Inhale, knees into the chest, hover there, press it back. Keep your chest and shoulders off of the earth. Pull yourself forward, knees into chest, and then extend yourself back, sort of like an extension of a plank. Inhale, pull yourself forward, knees into chest, and then extend yourself back this time. Inhale, really draw those knees in, hover like a crow pose, and then press yourself back. This time, take a little breather and a break and rest your chest down onto the earth. Maybe the chin comes down. Release the lower back, sway your legs from side to side. We're going to do that little sequence there in a flow now. So we're going to call the first one a crow when you pull your knees into the chest, and the extension when you start to lay back, a little plank modification. So pull the knees into the chest for the crow, and as you exhale, do that plank modification, drawing yourself back. Inhale, draw the core in as you bring your knees towards your chin. Extend yourself back. Breathe here. Inhale, pull it in. Exhale, release back. Let's do this. Stack those shoulders over the wrists. Draw your knees into your core. Press it back. Release the back. Inhale. Draw it in. Really find your strength and your wisdom here. Press it back. Last one here. Pull those knees in. Hover, hover, hover. And then extend yourself back. Okay, one more time. Draw those knees into the chest. You can do this. Relax the chest down to the ground on your last one. Take a little breather. I know that was fun. And then let your chest relax on the ground as you decompress your back by swaying your legs from side to side here. Full breath in, relaxing breath out. Maybe you find some stillness here, or you keep swaying, whatever feels really yummy for your body to find that decompression. When you're ready, we're going to do what we call the thread the needle. Press the right palm into the ground to lift your chest, and then sweep your left arm underneath the right arm so that you can come onto your left shoulder. Let your head rest on the ground. You can always take the right hand back to the back of your waist, or the right hand to your left silk for a deeper twist. Another option is always to keep that right arm straight out overhead, just to find a nice gentle twist. But if you've chose the option for the deeper twist where the right hand comes to your left silk, take an inhale here and an exhaling breath. We're going to repeat this on the opposite side whenever you're ready. Put that right hand back flat on the floor to press down, lift up, switch to your left hand. Inhale, let right arm out to the side, and then sweep it underneath the left arm, coming onto that right shoulder, and then soften the head onto the ground. Remember, options is either to leave the left arm straight out overhead, or you can start to take that left hand back to the back of your waist or the right fabric. Use your breath here to find a nice deep twist. Every time you inhale, allow yourself to soften, and as you exhale, deepen that twist just a little bit more. Let your body be able to relax here in the back. We're going to move through the full flow of supported crow pose to supported hopping back to chaturanga. So I want you to bring your hands flat onto the floor at shoulder width apart, and then bend your elbows block height off the ground to bring your body to parallel to the earth. Then hop your knees forward to the tops of your triceps, and then shoot your body back to chaturanga. Hop your knees forward to crow pose, and then bend the elbows and shoot your body back to chaturanga. When you're done, take a nice inhale by lifting the chest up through upward facing dog, and then if you want, sway your legs from side to side and look both ways. When you're ready, sit your glutes back inside of your fabric on top of your heels, and then bring your arms in and spread the fabric out to drop the chest down inside of your fabric. Then sway yourself from left to right. Take a breather. Glide your fabric in front of you so that you can lie down on your belly. Bring your right arm out of your fabric and onto the floor flat. Then bend your left knee and reach your left hand back to the left ankle or wherever you feel comfortable that you can grab. Get a nice deep stretch here. Then, if you want to go deeper, take your left arm out of your fabric and reach down to those left toes or the left ankle. If that's a little too much, maybe you just grab onto that left outer edge of the fabric so that you can open up the shoulder and the chest. Let's repeat this on the other side. Bring your left arm back into your fabric and lower your left leg. Place your left hand on the floor. Reach your right hand back inside of your fabric and bend that right knee, reaching your hand back to the ankle or toes for the stretch. Remember, you can always have the option to bring your arm to the outside of your fabric, reaching back to your ankle or toe, or the edge of the fabric for that nice stretch. You want to be able to open up the shoulders here and just loosen up the back a little bit, so when we reach both hands inside for the deeper stretch, it feels really good and comfortable. So enjoy this stretch here. When you're ready, you're going to reach both hands back inside of the fabric, bend both of your knees, and reach your hands back to your ankles or your calf, wherever feels comfortable. Take an inhale as you hold onto your ankles, kick your feet away from you to lift that chest. When you're ready to decompress, you're going to stretch your arms out overhead inside of your fabric and your legs and sway. Let's come to a modified push-up on our knees. So get a good hand grip of the front of your fabric, holding on, straighten your arms, and then bend your elbows, lower your chest, and then re-straighten your arms. Bend your elbows, lower the chest, re-straighten your arm for the push-up. One more time, bend those elbows, and then press yourself up with straight arms. Then take your butt back towards your heels, keeping your arms straight for a nice little resting spot. Let's do a nice little leg series now. So rise back up, coming to sort of sit up on those knees. Gather up the front of your fabric again, and then step your right foot to the front edge of your fabric, okay? As your right knee is bent, you're going to start to press that left knee back and away from underneath your midline or the plumb line. That's going to help stretch out that hip flexor. When you're ready to find a twist, you're going to bring that right arm to the inside of the right front leg. Your left arm will go straight up to the sky or holding onto that left fabric. To come out of your twist, grab the edges of your right and your left post, and then you're going to straighten your front leg and let your head come down towards the knee to stretch out that hamstring. Maybe you grab the edges of your fabric, lift your chest, and pull the fabric towards you to flex your toes. Let's switch out again. You're going to find another twist on the other side. Turn your chest towards the right, bring your left arm to the outer edge of your right foot, and your right arm up towards the sky there. Find that twist. When you're ready to come out, you're going to reach both hands up to the edges of your top of your fabric. Straighten your arms, grab the front edge of your fabric, and then step your right foot back inside of your fabric so both knees match up. Then you're going to step your left foot to the front edge of that fabric, adjust yourself properly, and then rebend that left knee. And allow yourself here with this knee bent to press the right knee back to find a nice little hip flexor stretch. We're going to find the twist on this side. So bring your left arm to the inside of that left knee and shin, and then reach your right arm up to the sky for that nice sweet stretch and twist. Switch out to the other side. You're going to go ahead and straighten that front leg and bring your head down towards the knee and the shin so you can get a nice hamstring stretch. Let's do that twist on the opposite side. Rebend the left knee. Take your right arm onto the outside of that left leg, grabbing that left foot, and right arm up towards the sky for the stretch and the twist. Remember to be aware of your breath throughout all of these smooth poses. To stand up, reach your arms up as high as possible and put the weight in your left foot to stand up, and then bring your right foot to the front edge of your fabric. When you're ready to come into tree pose, take your left leg from the behind the fabric and around to the front and bring that foot into the shin. Then, holding onto your fabric, only bring your left shoulder and elbow to the front of your fabric. Your right arm should come around the back of your fabric to bring your hands to heart center. When you feel comfortable, you'll reach your both arms up towards the sky for your full tree pose. Breathe. Modification, if you feel stable here, is to take your right hand, grab that right post, and then take your pointer finger of your left hand and grab between your big toe and extend that leg straight. You can always grab the calf or wherever feels good. When you're ready to come out, bring that left foot back into the right inner thigh and bring your hands back to heart center to enjoy your tree pose. As you're ready to come out, hold on to both fabric posts, bring your left elbow behind your fabric and step your left foot back into the middle of your fabric. Then take your right leg behind you, around your fabric right post, bring your foot to the inner thigh, and then only bring that right shoulder and elbow to the front of your fabric. Then bring your hands to heart center. There's a lot of locks here with your elbows and shoulder and hips. Breathe in your pose, your tree pose, and just take it in. When you're ready for your modification, you're going to reach your arms up towards the sky, making any mudras with your hands or whatever you did on the other side to enjoy and embrace the tree pose. To come to the modification, hold your fabric with your left hand. Then you're going to take the pointer and middle finger between the big toe and extend that right leg out to the side straight. Any other little modifications by holding the calf or the back of the shin is also good too. Then bring your right foot back into the inner thigh of the left leg. Bring your hands back to heart center for tree pose again. Come out safely. So reach up and hold on to your post. Unwrap that right foot and bring it back to the center of your fabric. And bring your shoulders and elbows back behind your fabric. Gently step out of your fabric and begin to bend your knees, but keep your heels up off of the ground. Then slide your fabric underneath your knees so they come onto your shins. And then re-tuck your toes so that you are lifting your heels up off of the floor. This is really good to stretch out the fascia underneath your feet. Bring your shoulders and elbows to the front of your fabric with your hands to heart center to find a balance. Full breath in, deep breath out. Nice stretch of the back of the feet. This pose, hold on to your fabric, bring your shoulders and elbows behind the fabric, and then slide that fabric from underneath your shins so they come off, and then you can slowly lower your knees down to the ground. want you to take your fabric back behind you and swing out the fabric so you find the front edge of your fabric again. Bring your hands underneath the fabric as if you're going to throw a baseball and spread the fabric out to about shoulder width apart. Bring the fabric over your shoulders, move your hair out of the way if you need to, and make sure your hands are underneath the fabric. Glue your fabric to your ribs and bring your elbows up and through the fabric as you fold forward. Kind of like you got duck wings, and then you're going to straighten your arms back and keep holding on to the fabric. As your arms are up behind you, holding onto the fabric up towards the sky, then if you feel safe in your shoulders, you can start to lean yourself forward just a little bit. Play here. Maybe you might need to bring your hips back underneath the plumb line and then soften those hips down towards the ground. This is a really deep shoulder opener, so be as gentle as possible. You can always play back and forth, leaning your hips back towards your heels to come out of it, and just playing gently with coming forward a little bit or coming back a little bit. Your hips do not need to come all the way down to the ground. They could just come forward just a little bit if that feels okay in your shoulders, and just go back. As you start to move to the next pose, bring your hips back over your knees and lift your chest a little bit to rotate those arms to the front of you like a little puppy dog. And then to come out, you're just going to lift your chest and take the fabric off of your arms. Swing the fabric back behind you, gather it up about 6 to 8 times, and take a seat in it like a little bucket pose. Bring the extra fabric from around the back towards the right side and to the front, and then take your foot and hook it into the bottom of your fabric. This will create a little cradle. Then cross your left foot over your right thigh and begin to fold yourself forward. Janu Shirshasana, that's what they call it in the yoga. Forward fold. Take a breath in and a cleansing, relaxing breath out. Lift your chest up now and slide that left foot in through the hole. Bend your right knee and bring that heel to the outer left hip. And then if you can, lift your fabric and bring your head through the hole and forward fold. It's kind of like a stacking the log modification here. Keep your shoulders behind the fabric. It's going to give you a little bit of stability as you're folding forward and bringing your chin down to that left knee. Remind yourself to relax here as this is a nice deep outer hip stretch. Whenever you're ready to come out, you're going to go ahead and take your left hand and grab that left fabric and lift your head up out of the hole to come back to center. Then just switch your left foot out with your right foot and cross your right foot over your left thigh by bringing the foot onto the floor. Maybe if you want a steep stretch, you could bring your right hand to the outer edge of that left foot for a nice counter pose. To guide yourself out, step that right foot over the left and then unhook your left leg. Bring the fabric around your back and across to the left side and into the front left side. Then bring your left foot into the bottom of the fabric to make that cradle into the fabric. Cross your right foot over the left leg by bending the knee and then fold forward. You can always reach that left hand to the left toes or left part of the fabric for a nice deep Janu Shirshasana stretch. To get that deep outer hip stretch on this side, step that right foot all the way through and then lift the triangle so you could bring your head through the hole and bend your knee so that that bottom leg, the left leg, the heel comes to the right outer hip. And then take an inhale as you exhale, fold forward so the chin can come down to that right knee. Breathe into your back body. Exhale, soften the hips. Let your neck relax and find a nice deep full stretch here. Throughout this practice, you've learned the fundamentals of crow pose to hopping back to chaturanga. You've had the liberation of trying the tree pose and enjoying all of these little sequences. As we wind down into these little cool down stretches and get ready for Shavasana, you're always more than welcome to take the traditional corpse pose by lying on your back, or you can bring your head through the fabric, undo that right leg from over the left, and then begin to kick out the fabric and bring your feet out of the fabric with the knees bent. Then you're going to take your hands, grab the front edge of your fabric and pull it back behind you. Basically bring your knees to your chest and hold both of those fabrics into one hand. Take your free hand and pull the fabric so that you can lie down your head inside of the fabric behind your back. Then open up the fabric and you're going to hook both heels into those little like stirrups or butterfly wings from the front. Then you're going to open up these little kind of holes to put your knees inside of the fabric. You're going to look like a butterfly lying down or Baddha Konasana in the fabric. So if you need a little help, what we did was your feet are hooked into those little 2 butterfly stirrups. Your knees are nice and wide open and they're inside of that little pockets that your fabric makes. And you're lying down freely on your back. Maybe your arms come out overhead with the elbows bent. And you're taking a full breath into your Shavasana. Enjoy. Take a full cleansing breath in and a decompressing breath out. Sink into your fabric. Then begin to unhook the heels from those stirrups and let your legs come stretched out long inside of your fabric. Maybe you wiggle your toes or start to sway yourself from side to side. Each inhale you take and each exhale you soften into this fabric a little more. Wiggle, maybe stretch the arms up overhead, and when you're ready, reach your arms up to your fabric to pull yourself up to a seated position by bringing your feet out of your fabric. Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste.